Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And today's topic is going to be testing. The question is, do women test? And will women test a man's strength? And the answer to that question is abso-fucking-lutely. Not only do they test you, but the testing is never going to stop. They're always going to be testing your strength, always going to be asking questions to get you to talk about how you feel or how she makes you feel about her, because that's just the way they are. And if you're ever incongruent, or you are weak, or you say something for 3 times and then the 4th time you say something completely different. So the first 3 times you're totally congruent, and the 4th time you say something else. 6 months from now or 2 years from now, she's still going to be bringing that one time that you were inconsistent. And she will bring those things up, as I discuss in my book, every time she senses weakness or every time that you hurt her. And that's the thing that a lot of guys that are just learning this stuff and they're in relationships struggle with, is that when a guy thinks, hey, we work through this, we resolve this argument, and fucking 2 years later, she's bringing up the same shit that I thought we resolved 2 years ago. Or 20 years later, it's the same thing. And what a guy doesn't realize is that, since women are emotional beings, is that she's basically bringing this up is because whatever's going on in that situation, you basically have hurt her in the same way that you did 2 years ago. In other words, you still haven't got it and figured it out. And what most guys that don't understand women make the mistake of is they start to argue with her and try to use logic and reason, and then she starts throwing all kinds of things out there. Like when you start rattling off, I did this, I took out the garbage last week, I cleaned out the garage, I fixed the front door, I got your oil changed in your car. You start rattling off those things, and then she's got about 100 things more, 100 other comebacks of where you failed, or where you were weak, or what you didn't do in the past when you said you were going to do it. And I know those things can drive you nuts, and they absolutely will when you don't understand women, but what she's doing is trying to get you to resolve what's there. And if you haven't read the article, which I will definitely post a link on this page if you happen to be watching this video on my website, there was an article and a video that I did called How to Communicate with Women Effectively. And so I would definitely encourage you to watch that again and to go back and read the communication skills in the book, because women are going to, as you get more and more closer with a woman and she falls deeper in love with you and starts thinking about things like marriage, moving in together, getting engaged, getting a serious commitment, buying a house together, or whatever, she wants to feel comfortable, and so she wants to know that you're going to be her protector and you're exclusively 100% hers, that your heart is totally with her, and that's why she's going to bring up things. And so my client here, who actually wrote this letter, this email, he's getting really peeved about the whole thing. And the thing that you got to understand about women is that as a man, nothing can uncenter you. Nothing can ever diminish you unless you decide that you're diminished in some way. And what's happening here is that you are letting your girlfriend diminish you with her tests, and you're getting angry and you're pissed off about it. And what's behind anger? Fear. Fear is always behind anger, and probably fear of losing her, fear of screwing up. Everything's going so well, it's, I'll just wait for the other shoe to drop. And this particular client of mine is doing phenomenal. I mean, his girlfriend's totally in love with him, he's totally in love with her, and it's the first time he's ever been with a chick that's a total 10 in every way to him. And he doesn't want to screw it up because he's never gotten as far, and so it's, his fears, the little devil that's always telling you it's not going to work out, it'll never happen, blah, 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 and that can cause you to want to do the wrong thing. So I'm going to read a few excerpts from here and some things that are really starting to bother him. And he says that she basically wants to read, she lives in Europe and works in Europe, and he works in the United States, but he happens to travel all over the world, and so on his way back from Europe, he'll stop by and see her in Italy, where she works at. And so basically, because she's obviously close to him and loves him and wants his opinion and his input, she's basically wants to move back to the United States, and she wants to be closer to him. And so, and she keeps asking him the same thing, and it's just, he's getting tired of having to answer the same thing. But you got to understand, if you reassured a woman yesterday or 5 minutes ago, if she's feeling insecure right now in this moment, she's going to bring it up, because she's a woman and she's an emotional being like all women are. And you need to love her just like a father would love his little girl. It's like, what is a little girl when she's upset or scared? She goes to her daddy. She sits on his lap. Daddy makes it all better. Daddy's the rock. Daddy's the mountain. And when she grows up, she wants the man in her life to also take that role. The man who's always fucking consistent, who's always congruent, who always says what he means and means what he says and follows through. And so he basically says he says he screwed up the other day because he basically told her that, I guess, the West Coast would be a better place for her to go instead of where he actually lives. And the first 3 times she asked him this, he said the same thing. Oh, of course, right? I want you to be here with me. And then he's thinking, well, the weather's really much nicer out west. The beach is out there. And of course, she's not letting it go yet, and keeps bringing it up. She's busting his balls about it. And the other thing that she's doing is she's bringing up other guys that she's dated, other guys that she's talked to, or that are asking her out, or that have interest in her. And he's going, why the fuck is she bringing this stuff up? And so I want you to take your right hand and I want you to reach out and choke yourself with it. Because that is a compliment to you. You are actually doing something really well here. And the fact that she is communicating all these guys that she meets, even one of them that's apparently a police officer knows her mother, and her mother's like, oh, you make such a cute couple. And she shared this with him, and he's thinking, why, is she trying to make me jealous? And it's typical things that a guy goes through. And what she's saying is she's being honest and she's being open and she's sharing what's going on because she loves you and she cares about you and you're the center of her life. And so she tells you these things because she's just revealing it to you, and you should take that as a compliment that you have made her feel comfortable enough and you've raised her level of interest to the point where she's fallen in love with you and you're maintaining it. And so, like any good, healthy relationship, when something happens, a guy hits on her or whatever, she's going to share it with you. And, sometimes a woman just wants to see if it gets under your skin a little bit or uncenters you, and take it as a compliment that other dudes like your girl. And the fact that she's sharing them with you. And the thing that you should be concerned is if she stops telling you about all these other guys that are hitting on her, because if she's super hot, she's not going to just all of a sudden stop getting all this attention from other men. And so that's something to pay attention to and use for your sensory acuity, is that's always going to continue. And you just always take it as a compliment. And when she says, you just say, yeah, but you're lucky that you found me. Oh, this guy was hitting on me at work, and say, yeah, but you're here with your prince now, and because that guy he ain't got what I got. And you have fun with it. You're kind of a little cocky about it, a little sarcastic, and you just let her know that you say, hey, I really appreciate you sharing that stuff with me, and it shows that the level of trust and the level of comfort that you have with me is really high, and so I'm honored. Thank you, and it makes me feel comfortable in the relationship because that means that I can trust you more. So those are the things to look at. So I'll go back and read the communication cues, because these tests is, if you got a problem with a woman that tests you, then you shouldn't date women, dude, because it's always going to happen. And the bottom line is you got nobody to be pissed off at but yourself, because these are your issues. This is your shit. This is your weakness that you're dealing with. And so I'm glad that you're doing the right thing, which is emailing it to me, and so we can work it out, so you can figure out what the right way to approach it is. So you continue to do everything right and keep her in love, and